Friends on a mission, Nevada or bust. Alice, Jake, and Megan were inseparable. They craved adventure. They lived for the open road. Nevada was calling their names. This road trip had been months in the making. Maps were poured over. Playlists were meticulously crafted. Excitement filled the air.
We're ready to chase the Nevada sunset.
The old Jeep rumbled to life. This wasn't just a car, it was a time machine. Every mile was a journey into the unknown. Windows down, music blasting, they were free. Nothing could stop them now. The Nevada sun beat down on the Jeep. It was a symphony of laughter and off-key singing. They shared stories, dreams, and inside jokes. The miles flew by in a blur of desert scenery and shared moments. This was the open road at its finest.
There's a shortcut. It'll save us hours.
Are you sure about this? It looks pretty deserted.
Let's do it. A little adventure never hurt anyone.
Little did they know what awaited them on that desolate path. The shortcut was a narrow, winding road. It snaked through dense forest. The sun dipped below the horizon. Shadows grew longer, twisting into menacing shapes. The air turned cold. An uneasy silence fell over the group. It was as if the forest itself was watching them. Suddenly, the Jeep sputtered and died. Silence. Jake tried the ignition again and again. Nothing. They were stranded. Fear gnawed at the edges of their excitement.
Don't worry, we'll figure something out.
But deep down, a shiver ran down her spine. Something felt very wrong. The everlasting inn refuge or prison? Through the trees, a faint light flickered. Hope surged. They weren't alone. As they approached, a building emerged from the darkness. The everlasting inn. It was tall and imposing with dark, brooding architecture. The sign creaked ominously in the wind.
This place, it feels so eerie.
Inside, dust hung heavy in the air. Cobwebs clung to every surface. A musty smell filled their nostrils. It felt cold, lifeless. Behind a dusty counter sat an old man. His eyes were yellow and piercing. His voice was a raspy whisper.
Welcome, rest. Everything will be fine in the morning.
But his words offered no comfort. Whispers of the past. The inn's dark secrets revealed. They were given rooms on the top floor. Each room was dark and dusty, filled with antique furniture. A strange sense of dread filled the air. Alice sat on the edge of the bed. Her room felt heavy, oppressive. In the corner, a rocking chair creaked back and forth, seemingly on its own. A cold breath touched the back of her neck. She spun around. Nothing.
What was that?
Down the hall, Jake stared into the mirror. His reflection was off. It moved differently than him. It seemed to age before his eyes. Panic surged through him. He looked away for a second, then back. His reflection was normal again. Was he imagining things?
This place is messing with my mind.
Megan huddled under the covers, her heart pounding. Shadows danced on the walls, twisting and contorting into grotesque shapes. They seemed to reach out to her, eager to consume her. A blood-curdling scream escaped her lips.
Get away from me.
Trapped. The hotel awakens. They met in the lobby, their faces pale with terror. Each shared their experience. The old man was gone. On a table lay a dusty guest book. Alice opened it, her hand trembling. The entries were old, faded. They told stories of travelers seeking shelter just like them. But the stories all ended the same way. No one ever left the everlasting inn.
We have to get out of here now.
Panic surged. They had to escape, but the doors were locked. The windows were boarded shut. The hotel felt alive now, a malevolent entity holding them captive. They were trapped.
We're trapped. There's no way out.
What do we do? We can't stay here.
Facing their fears, the price of freedom. Alice noticed a book tucked behind the reception desk. It was old and leather-bound, its title barely visible. The Everlasting Guest. She opened it. The pages were filled with strange symbols and cryptic phrases. One sentence stood out. The inn feeds on fear, but it releases those who face it.
Guys, listen to this. We have to confront our fears.
They had to confront their fears. Alice, terrified of being alone, forced herself to explore the dark hallways. Jake, haunted by his past mistakes, confessed his deepest regrets. Megan, afraid of the dark, stood alone in her room, embracing the shadows. As they faced their fears, the hotel began to change. The air felt lighter. The oppressive atmosphere lifted. The doors creaked open. The Everlasting Inn was no longer a prison, but a pathway.
I can feel it. We're getting out of here.
We did it. We're free.
They had faced their fears and earned their freedom. The Everlasting Inn faded into the night, leaving them with a story they would never forget. Please like and subscribe channel.